The year is 1998. Masahiro Sakurai, fresh off of creating Kirby, decides to take his love of fighting games and develop his own fighting game. The tentative idea, called Dragon King, had a unique purpose. Your victory condition was beating your opponent down so badly that you could knock them off the screen. Sakurai felt that this wasn't enough of a pitch for the game, so he developed a prototype using Nintendo characters like Mario and Donkey Kong and Samus Aran. He didn't get Nintendo's permission to do this, because he figured there's no way Nintendo would approve of an idea of having their own Nintendo mascots fighting each other. But it's as they say, better to ask for forgiveness than permission. Surprisingly, Nintendo approved of this idea, and the rest is history. Welcome to the beginning of a landmark franchise. Welcome to Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64. To say this game changed everything for fighting games is an understatement. Because no longer were fighting games dependent on things like life bars and sticking to a particular plane. This game invented the platform fighter. So what's the deal with this here Super Smash Bros. Game daily? You have a couple buttons. You have the A button to take care of normal attacks. If you flick the control stick when you press the button, you get a more powerful attack with a bit more force behind it. Of course, you have special moves on the B button. What the special moves do depend on the character. You can jump with any of the C buttons you have. You can throw someone. And you can shield, and when you flick the control stick, you roll with that shield. And that's basically what Super Smash Bros. Is. Seems real simple. Insultingly simple, in fact. But it's through that simplicity that many more people who don't normally play fighting games got into the game. And this is quite the unique single-player campaign. That was a normal one-on-one fight. Now let's fight a bunch of Yoshis. These Yoshis are notably light. Which means that even the slight breeze, a gentle breeze, can knock these Yoshis off the screen. You'll note by the top of the screen how many Yoshis you have left to defeat. If you notice, Mario himself seems to have some familiar moves. And I'm not just talking about things you would expect Mario to have. I mean, obviously he throws fireballs. That's what you expect him to do. He's a platformer man, so he jumps really high. But, well... let's see. Fireball. Uppercut move. Move where he spins in place. Mario's kind of a Street Fighter. And granted, depending on your continuity, Mario grew up in the mean streets of Brooklyn before transferring to the Mushroom Kingdom. So it's appropriate. But if you're coming in here from, say, Street Fighter, then Mario's game plan's going to be awfully familiar. And now we get to the bonus stages. It's up to you to use your knowledge of the character to break these unique targets. You have to use every move they have at their disposal to hit them. You do have a set time limit, but if you're good, it is more than enough time. So here we have a 2-on-2. Your job is to knock out both opponents, and you have a little partner friend to help you do that. The game is not over if your partner is defeated. So this game's a lot of unique stage layouts. It's not necessarily one plane, one ground. There are obstacles. The floor can shift and change. And you have to recognize these changes. Okay. Good stuff. Just had to wait for a good opportunity. Now allies become enemies. Kind of funny how that worked out. Okay, so enough talking about the gameplay and this game's historical impact. Super Smash Bros. Back then kicked all kinds of ass. I used to go over a neighbor's house because they had an N64 and they had this game. I didn't want to leave. I was big into Pokemon. I was big into Kirby. Of course I knew who Mario was. Damn it. I gotta watch that uppercut. Of course I knew who Mario was. I never wanted to stop playing this game. Like, it was an addiction. I needed new ways to play this game. this game had many ways of doing so. I forgot to mention the taunt button. I'm sorry, the fighter stance. Mario versus Giant Donkey Kong. But this game left quite the impression on me. It's just, I could get people into this game that weren't really into the big fighters. Just because it was a bit easier to understand and perceive. Okay. So this giant Donkey Kong's a bit of a problem. Strictly because he's so large and he can cover so much ground. And he needs a lot more... He needs a lot more punishment before you can actually knock him somewhere respectable. Okay. It's up to me. No pressure. And of course, Donkey Kong has a mean punch, so I'm trying to avoid his front. There we go. The other bonus stage is not breaking targets, but simply planting your feet. Well, Mario has a lot of experience with this, so he should be good at it. A lot of careful consideration. We're not using a D-pad anymore. We're using an analog stick. There is precision involved, and there is much less room for error. And there you have it. So now we gotta beat up a bunch of Kirbys. But why? 3, 2, 1. So yeah, the little pink puffball. Weighs about as much as a piece of loose leaf paper. But the unique thing about Kirby is that he can steal the power of any opponent he sucks in. This means that all these Kirbys will be wearing unique Nintendo-based caps. And they will have the powers and abilities of these characters, or at least one of them. These can either be notably harmless, or they can be Samus. Or they could be Luigi. He'll throw some fireballs every now and then. Wait for it. Good stuff. There we are.
Game set. Mario versus Samus.
Now, when I mentioned the stage itself can change, I wasn't necessarily talking about all the moving parts. The stage from Metroid has a very unique hazard. Hopefully we won't live long enough to see it. Yeah, the stage is rumbling a bit. The hazard below that you see can actually rise up. And from then on, it can be a bit of a killer. So eventually you get into the sub-bosses, and one of them is Metal Mario from Super Mario 64. This form is permanent. Being as he's metal, he's a lot heavier. So we're just gonna beat on him, wail on him, if you will. Because he's gonna take a lot more to even push around. Come on out, Snorlax! That's my Snorlax! Just as broken in this game as you were in Gen 1. So we've jumped, we've attacked, and now we have to run. There will be many polygonal figures blocking your way as you try your best to literally race to the finish. Again, you are given plenty of time. Just run your heart out, double tap to move faster. Don't worry about getting knocked around too much. They're hazards.
Polygon team.
And now the polygons are out for revenge. 30 seems like an overwhelming number, but if you haven't pieced it together... there's not too much to worry about here. So long as you can make contact with them, they're done for. Try to take care of the giant gorilla-based one. They're the heaviest of the bunch, and the most powerful, too. If you haven't pieced it together, the Polygon fighters resemble the characters that you fight in Super Smash Bros. Nothing really unique about them, other than their strange look. The thing is, damage is gonna pile up. Because you're fighting these things a lot. And they come at you in groups of 3. Which means that eventually, they're gonna get you. Please be something good. Alright. Blastoise it is. You see, this game has many, many Pokemon, and their abilities and species can range from Snorlax to Blastoise to Charizard. It might be something less useful, like a Goldeen.
Game set.
Unless we get to the Master Manipulator, it's time to get hands-on. Master Hand is a unique fight. He has an HP bar. Once you knock that thing down to 0, the fight is complete. Any attacks you have that do more damage, use them. I swear, that uppercut's gotten me killed so many times. You have a shield, it lowers the longer it's up. As long as you know how to use it, you can actually negate a lot of these attacks. Like so. Master Hand gives you a couple of seconds to just hit him. The only really deadly one is the double poke of doom. They do start to add more attacks as time goes on. And you get less time to fight back. There we go. There you have it, with that eerie Game Clear music. That's Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo 64 done. However, there is a credit sequence. You shoot the credits with the people's names on them. I assure you, in future iterations of this series, the credit sequence isn't as generous. But that's Super Smash Bros. Oh god, this game is so good. It would get a lot better over time. I know that for sure. But this game, nostalgia doesn't even begin to describe how I feel about this game. It doesn't necessarily hold up as well as its future iterations. But it's still very important to acknowledge the roots of this franchise. And it's still a lot of fun to play. It is supposedly, as of this moment, coming to Nintendo Switch Online via their Nintendo 64 service. I can't recommend it enough. This game is a classic billion seller probably. Who knows? It has that status for a reason. Well, that's Super Smash Bros., and I'll see you in the next game.